I had never known about appellate work until I stumbled into it years into my career, and just sort of connecting the dots of there are so many people like me who are first generation, people of color, who never even learn about appellate work, much less have access to the resources or encouragement to pursue it. When you walk to the Supreme Court, what you see on top is equal justice under law. And for that to actually mean something, it requires that the people deciding these types of cases and arguing these cases and bringing them reflect the rich diversity of our communities so that we all feel like we have a voice in this process and are getting a fair shake.
The appellate bar doesn't look like what America looks like today, but there are great folks like Juveria and TAP doing work to diversify the field, which is incredibly important.
So TAP, I think, does a really great job of empowering, young attorneys, law students, that to know that they can make a difference in the appellate field, they can make a difference in the legal field, and they can create justice in whatever kind of realm they're practicing in.
I think TAP's mission is important, not just because it's a way to break into appellate practice, which is already so mysterious and hard in itself, but it's a way to highlight that representation matters.
I mean, we need people from all sorts of backgrounds in every part of the legal profession. We need them arguing in front of the Supreme Court. We need them arguing in the courts of appeals, in state courts.
Being able to go into courthouses, see where decisions that are affecting all of our lives are happening, and seeing people who are living out the dream that you want to achieve is often, we hear, encouraging for our students.
I think that's important, that people see people like myself so that they can see themselves in these roles.
One of my mentors, Sydney Foster, who actually helped me edit my legal note, which is now being published in the 8th volume for the Howard Human and Civil Rights Law Review. And I'm one of 2 current students that will be published in that volume. And so I think TAP very much so helped me become a stronger writer and really helped me develop my writing as a lawyer.
Joining TAP was really one of the first times I felt in the legal profession that I was just being supported in so many ways, and just had like a dedicated team behind me, helping me to reach my goals.
Being part of TAP has been transformational for me, really.
It was just so important to me to get involved with this organization that exposed me to so many different networks and different areas of the law where I could work.
So TAP was very helpful in sort of demystifying the clerkship process.
Before I started law school, I didn't know what a clerkship was. And through TAP, I learned so much more about how to achieve these goals and how to work on my application and network and ultimately get a clerkship.
My clerkship process was long, and TAP was very helpful by linking me with a practicing attorney who could read my writing samples and cover letter and provide feedback. And then again, I really worked with my mentor to identify judges that I would be interested in clerking for, and to help me craft my story to make it more compelling on getting hired.
So when I was leaving law school, people didn't really know about TAP. However, when I got to my first clerkship, and then being at my second clerkship 2 and 3 years later, I'm seeing TAP affiliations on resumes for potential clerkship applicants. That's going to automatically, on the resume, that's going to automatically pique my interest. I'm like, oh, who is this candidate? Let me read further, or let me flag this for the judge as someone he might really want to consider.
TAP is the perfect pipeline organization to reach out to students who are part of underrepresented communities, and to allow them to become those leaders in the legal profession.
TAP is necessary because its active focus is to bring perspectives that are diverse, bring perspectives that represent even the smallest people.
I hope TAP is one of those organizations where people, when they see that name, they automatically know what type of conversations you're willing to have, what type of community you come from, what type of mentorship you had.
TAP feels like it's at the center, pooling people together to help each other, where we all have a common interest and a common objective of really getting more viewpoints, more representation into the areas of law that can really make a difference.
This organization provides an enormous bang for your buck because it primarily runs on the vast resource and energy of volunteers who provide mentorship, who provide training, who provide coaching to these law students. And what the organization does is it harnesses that energy, it recruits that energy, and it channels that energy really effectively.
20 years, I hope TAP will have encouraged students of all types to become appellate lawyers and appellate judges. And I hope that TAP empowers students, no matter their background or their law school or their lived experience, to argue in front of the Supreme Court or reach for a job that maybe they don't think they have the qualifications for.
My vision for the future of TAP is being able to walk into any appellate court and seeing the space actually represent all of our communities. And as a result, the rulings that come down from these courts actually reflect our lived experiences and are more just, stronger outcomes for all of us.